Hello and welcome back to my top 10 favorite Godzilla films. This movie is normally a fan favorite and quite controversial with its plot in terms of villains, history, and timeline. Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. Now, this is the 18th film in the franchise. This movie was a surprise to me as a child because my grandmother bought this on VHS when it was first released. I didn't know anything about this movie. When she gave it to me, I just thought it was Godzilla vs. Monster Zero just under a new title because I always thought that one was silly. So I was pleasantly delighted when I found out that I was wrong and this was a completely new movie. So the movie opens up with a UFO flying all over Japan, being reported on the news and newspapers. Our main character, Terasawa, is a reporter who is investigating survivors from World War II. They claim that a dinosaur was on Largos Island and saved them. Eventually, the UFO lands and 3 people come out to speak with government representatives. They reveal that they are from the future, 2204 to be precise. They tell Japan that Godzilla will attack soon and finally destroy Japan. He will finally win. To prove that they are from the future, they bring a book entitled The Birth of Godzilla, which was written by our main character, Terasawa. The book explains that the dinosaur on Largos Island during World War II was hit by a nuclear test and transformed into Godzilla and attacked in 1954. The Futurians have a plan and want Terasawa, Miki Sagusa, and others to help. They all board a small time machine and travel to World War II on Largos Island. It is there that they see the Godzillas Source attack the American forces who are shooting at him. The Godzillas Source is severely hurt but has killed all the land American troops. When the Japanese forces finally leave the island, the time machine is then able to teleport the Godzilla Source to the Bering Sea into the present time. Just before they travel to the present, however, Emmy leaves 3 genetically created pets called Dorats on the island. Once they return to the present, it is confirmed that Godzilla never existed, but he has been replaced by a new monster named King Ghidorah. The Futurians reveal to Emmy and the others that they lied, that they want to stop Japan from becoming a super country in the future. They will destroy Japan with King Ghidorah. With no defenses, Japan then gets the idea to rebirth Godzilla with a secret nuclear submarine. Well, it turns out that the Godzilla Source has already sunk a Russian nuclear sub and has already been rebirthed. Well, the Japanese don't know this, so when the Japanese sub then goes to create Godzilla, he is already there. Godzilla then destroys this sub and becomes even more powerful than before because he's being born with modern nuclear weapons. The Futurians then send King Ghidorah to kill Godzilla. A fight starts and Godzilla seems outmatched for once. While the fight happens, Emmy reprograms an android named M11 to help her destroy the UFO. Once the main control is destroyed, King Ghidorah becomes confused and is free of control. As King Ghidorah tries to flee, Godzilla uses his atomic breath and decapitates the middle head of King Ghidorah. As he tries to fly away, Godzilla blasts him one more time and Ghidorah falls into the sea. Emmy then steals the time machine and teleports the UFO next to Godzilla, who then easily destroys it. But just as the Futurians predicted, the new and improved Godzilla goes on a killing spree on Japan and destroys everything in his past. So the bleak future that the Futurians lied about is now becoming true. Emmy then gets an idea. She travels back to the future, yes, I really made that joke, and uses modern technology to help King Ghidorah. She then returns to 1999 with a cyborg mecha King Ghidorah. A huge battle begins, with Godzilla having the upper hand once again. Emmy then uses grappling hooks as a last resort to hoist Godzilla into the air and take him away from mainland Japan. Godzilla then uses his atomic breath and cripples Mecha King Ghidorah, causing both monsters to fall out of the sky and sink to the bottom of the sea. Emmy then escapes with the time machine and reveals just before she returns to her time that Terasawa is an ancestor of hers. The story itself is one of the most interesting stories in the series, as it deals with both Godzilla's origin and time travel. But the problem with time travel in movies is that it can cause some big plot holes. For instance, when the mission of getting rid of Godzilla is a success, everyone in the present time knows what happened. This should not be the case. They shouldn't know what Godzilla is. Now, even if the government was filled in on what was happening before Terasawa and the others returned, the general public wouldn't have a clue. So when Godzilla begins his attack and intercoms warn of his approach, the citizens really shouldn't know what a Godzilla is. Also, why in the first place did the Futurians come to 1999 to warn Japan? What stopped them from going to World War II, getting rid of Godzilla, and creating King Ghidorah, and then destroying Japan while it was blindsided? Also, if King Ghidorah was created in the 1940s, why wait until 1999 to attack? Couldn't they have just destroyed Japan in 1954 like Godzilla tried to? My head hurts. Let's continue. Anyways, as I said, the story is very good, but most of the characters don't do anything in this film. Why is it that an important character like Miki Segusa is here? The only thing she does in the movie is that she feels when Godzilla is rebirthed. That's it. A lot of the characters also don't have any point really of being there than just to be there. It's very strange. This one definitely isn't strong on character development. Thankfully, the monsters really make up for the shortcomings of the characters. Godzilla looks really good. He is large and menacing, and I like that this design is for the most part used for the rest of the Heisei series. Godzilla also gets a new power. He can now emit a short-range nuclear pulse, which not only can damage things around him, but can push monsters away from him. He only uses this in an emergency, however. Godzilla can look really small in this shot, however. It's not a good idea for him to be surrounded by 4 buildings much larger than him. Also, Godzilla has a hilarious scene with him staring at Mr. Shindo, the general that saluted Godzilla in World War II. Godzilla seems to remember him, but then he kills him anyways. The Godzilla Source looks great too. He moves a little odd, but I mean, it's a guy in a rubber suit. It didn't help that I saw this movie after I had already seen Jurassic Park, so that was kind of the standard for dinosaur movements. Anyways, the violence with Godzilla's Source scared me as a child, along with his roar of pain. His normal roar, however, is Rodan slowed down. But his pain roar? It's Gamera. Yeah, that's definitely Gamera. I love how King Ghidorah looks. It's a great modern look, but I'm not a fan of his roar. It's kind of too computery for me, if that makes any sense. I prefer the original roar. But King Ghidorah in this film is the strongest he's ever been. He almost kills Godzilla, even with this being both of their first fights. Now, Mecha King Ghidorah is cool, but I feel like he wasn't used to his full potential. But he is really cool looking, and his skills have definitely improved with becoming a cyborg. Overall, this is a fun film with a great story. but characters aren't used to their full extent or really at all. There are plot holes, but it makes up for it with great monster action. Well, that's all I really have to say about this film. Let me know what you thought about it, because it's, as I said, it's one of the most controversial. Well, come back next time when we finally get to see Godzilla as we all truly imagined him.